One of the last videos I made about the electricity car, it was about not stopping at gas stations, not wasting time. I'm going to make a series of videos in response to some of the comments and questions I have. The most common ones anyways. I'll try to cover one comment in each video. So today I'll talk about range anxiety. Those are two words that you didn't really hear too often put together before electric cars came out. I think most people know what range anxiety is. I will say I've had range anxiety with the electric car I think twice now. I've had it about 6 months, not quite 6 months, and I've put over 30,000 kilometers on it. So that's, I think the average person, that would be over 2 years, over 2 years driving for that many kilometers. I had it the first day I got the car, and I had it the second day I got the car. Got the car 3 hours away, so and it was only charged to like 60-something% when I picked it up. So not knowing the car, I just didn't know 60% enough to get it home. So that was the first day, and then the second day, plug it in, and I had the wrong receptacle. I had a dryer receptacle and it wouldn't work. So I had to drive back to a supercharger. Closest supercharger to where I live is about an hour away. So 2-hour round trip. I do remember as a kid I had range anxiety when I first got my license. I remember searching through the couch cushions, pulled the couch cushions off, and I'd get, I got $1.87, and that'll buy me a gallon of gas. So I knew I was good for 20 miles back when I was driving one of those big old land yachts. Now I think range anxiety is kind of more of a thing with a gasoline vehicle. I've been driving over 42 years. So 41 and a half of those years I was driving gas or diesel vehicles. I'm going to show you why range anxiety isn't really a thing with one of these. So everything I cover in this video is from my perspective. It's a little bit different because I live out in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people think that electric cars are only good for people that live in cities. Well, that's totally false. I will cover the good, the bad, and the ugly about these things. Because I'm on well water here, I have to wipe it down with a towel, otherwise it leaves spots everywhere. I usually just wipe the glass down. It's the minerals in the water. Okay, getting back to the range anxiety. First thing you want to do is you want to take your wife with you whenever you go anywhere, long distances, or your girlfriend, or both, if they don't mind. Yes, the wife and the girlfriend come in handy for loading up the generator and the cord and the spare gas, so I don't run out of electricity. Also, they can push it off the road if need be. So no, I don't carry a generator with me. That would just be silly. Okay, I put you in the driver's seat. That's nice of me. So I can show you this. Now, this is the reason, I don't know, I think, well, Tesla I know does this with all their vehicles. I don't know if other electricity cars are like this or not, but okay, there's a map of where we are or whatever. It's always on there. Now, if I'm going on a trip somewhere, or not even on a trip, if I just want to know how far I can make it or whatever. Okay, right now I'm only like just over half charged. I have 280 kilometers I can go. Now I never ever use this. 61%, that's what I use. Now, so you want to know where if you can make it somewhere, you ask the car. Say for instance, I'll pick a town approximately 2 hours away, give or take 10 minutes. Now let's see, somewhere in that town. Okay. Navigate to Kamloops Supercharger. Okay, I'll pick one now. Calculating route, Kamloops, BC Supercharger. Now you got to give it like 30 seconds because it has to calculate a lot of crap. Okay, there's my directions. Now at the bottom here, it says I'll have 24% battery left when I get there. I'll get there at 12:40 p.m. It's going to take me an hour and 56 minutes at 147 kilometers. Okay, great. That 24% won't be accurate. It'll be 22% when I get there. Because this is calculating if you do the speed limit and drive like a normal person, which I don't. I drive it like I stole it. So I usually lose, like in that far of a distance, I can count on losing maybe 2%, which is nothing. I just know when I look at this, that the way I drive, it's going to lose a couple more percent. But what this takes into account, when I ask it that question to navigate there, I'll just end this trip. What this takes into account is elevation changes, traffic, wind, air temperature. It figures everything out, and it figures it out if you're doing the speed limit, that's what you'll end up with when you get there. And you can do it for anywhere. And I mean, if I'm out somewhere and I want to know if I'm going to make it home, I just say navigate to home, and the car will navigate to here, and it'll tell me my percentage left. So you basically, you don't need to go by miles, you just go by percentage. Now just a couple other things. Since I've started to get used to this, I did say in the past, like, I hardly ever use the self-driving feature. I just don't trust it. However, the times I do use it, if I happen to go to Wendy's for instance, and I get a Baconator, a big greasy burger, I will use it then, because if you're anything like me, you drive a gas car, I used to drive with my knees. If I had to eat a burger on the run and didn't have time to stop and sit in a parking lot, well, I would eat that burger and drive with my knees. But I always end up wearing half the burger. So this way with the self-driving, I put it in self-driving if I'm eating a burger and I don't want to spill my beer. I mean, if I don't want to spill my coffee, then yeah, I'll use self-driving for that. And a good thing is it'll brake, so you could be looking at your burger, and if the car in front of you stops, you'll stop as well. So there's that. Another thing with these, like if I stop at a store, or even say to go buy a couple $100 worth of groceries, I will just leave the air conditioning on in the car. It's hot up here. It's like, I mean, you can see trees around here, but it's like a desert. All the stores, the towns you go into, it's a desert. It's hot. 40 Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit, I'll put it up there. But I keep this thing cold like a refrigerator all the time. So I can count on it. If I stop for a half hour, whatever, I can count on maybe losing 1 or 2% tops in my charge. But I'm always way over. Usually when I come home, I still have 40%. And with these cars, you leave them plugged in all the time you're home. Like this morning, I drove, say about 100 miles this morning. Well, I come home, I plug it in. So by this afternoon, I'm at a full charge. I can go another 300 miles by this afternoon. But I still had a few hundred miles. But since it's at home, you just leave it plugged in. It doesn't cost you any more to have it fully charged all the time. That's all there is to it. Well, I think that covers the range anxiety, the non-existent range anxiety. Thanks for watching.